Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The revision PDF are uploaded on this Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now, let's start. Which state has raised the number of working days under MGNREGA from 100 to 150? So first thing first, what is MGNREGA? It is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So under this act, 100 days of work is assured. Please note that it is for unskilled labor. So for unskilled labor, government provides at least 100 days employment through this MGNREGA. Now, Uttarakhand government has decided to increase this from 100 days to 150 days. Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is Trivendra Singh Rawat. Apart from that, the Chief Minister also launched Uttarakhand Ajivika app. Why this app was launched? It was launched to help unemployed people to search for the job opportunities. Now because of the COVID-19, a lot of people lost their jobs. That's why the state government is trying to revive the economy by providing more and more employment opportunities. DPIIT of India recently took part in the first ever dialogue with which global association on the IPR. IPR stands for Intellectual Property Rights. So it is European Union. What is DPIIT? It is Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Now, this DPIIT is under Commerce Ministry. DPIIT is responsible for both internal trade and for external trade. Internal trade means trade within India. External trade means trade between two countries, that is India and some other country. So now, recently this DPIIT was in news as it took part in the first ever dialogue with European Union for the intellectual property rights. Please note that this European Union was also in news because of Brexit. What is Brexit? It is exit of Britain from European Union. So it is Britain plus exit. As per the Inter-Country Transport Vehicles Rules 2021, which authority has the power to grant inter-country transport permit? So this is State Transport Authority. Now, two important points. First is inter-country. Second is intra-country. Intra-country means within India and inter-country means India and some other country. So suppose you have to transport something from India to Bangladesh. So as per the new transport rules, that means as per the new inter-country transport vehicle rules, State Transport Authority can grant the inter-country transport permit, and this permit will remain valid for 1 year. So who can issue this permit? It is State Transport Authority. What is the validity of this permit? It is 1 year. So now these new rules will regulate the movement of passenger and of goods between India and its neighboring countries. So suppose there is a truck of some goods and this truck is going to supply goods from India to Bangladesh. So now this truck will need permission from State Transport Authority, and this permission or this permit will remain valid for 1 year. Who is our present Minister of Road Transport and Highway? He is Mr. Nitin Gadkari. What is NHAI? It is National Highway Authority of India. NHAI is also under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. 7 countries including Iran have lost the right to vote in which organization? So this organization is UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly. Now in simplest term, let me explain you the entire issue. So UNGA is association of all countries, and all countries provide financial support to this UNGA. Now the problem with Iran was that it was not paying its share. So that is why its payment was due, and it was due for more than 2 years. That is why now its voting right has been suspended in UNGA because of this payment due. Not only Iran, but 7 countries including Iran, Niger, Libya, CAR, that is Central African Republic, Congo, South Sudan and Zimbabwe lost their voting right as per this Charter of United Nations. Now 2 important things. First is, what is United Nations? So it is international organization, and the Secretary General of United Nations is Antonio Guterres. What is UNGA? It is General Assembly of the members of United Nations. This is component of UN. Another component is UNSC, that is United Nations Security Council. So the president of UNGA is Volkan Bozkır. Volkan Bozkır is a Turkish diplomat. That means he is from Turkey, and he is the first person from Turkey to be the President of United Nations General Assembly. Recently, UNSC was also in news as India started its 2-year term in UNSC. In UNSC, there are 15 members, out of which 5 are permanent, which are known as P5, and 10 are non-permanent members. These are elected for a term of 2 years. Tepetia, which was in news recently, is located in which Indian state? So this is going to be state, and it is in Assam. Actually, it is going to be a science city in Tepetia in Assam, and in this science city, various buildings related to science sector are going to be built. For example, National Council of Science Museum, Science and Technology Department of Assam. So this Tepetia is related to Assam. Recently, Assam was also in news as former Chief Minister of Assam, Tarun Gogoi, passed away. Now coming back to the science city, recently one more city project was in news, and it is Neom. Answer in comment box, this is related to which country? Assam was also in news because of Jogighopa. So why this place was in news? Because India's first multimodal logistic park will be set up in Assam, and recently the foundation stone for this multimodal logistic park was set up in Jogighopa in Assam. As per the recent statement by RBI, how many banks in India are classified as domestic systemically important banks? So first thing first, what is the meaning of this term? Systemically important banks. So these are the banks which are very crucial for economy, and if they are going to fail, they will have long-term impact on entire economy. For example, heart in our body. So heart is very crucial for our body to function. Similarly, these are the hearts of our financial system, and they are considered as too big to fail. And if they are going to fail, the impact will be widespread. So at global level, we have GSIB, that is globally systemically important banks. At domestic level, we have DSIB. So these DSIB are specified by our central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India. So 3 banks are DSIB, that is SBI, ICICI Bank and SDFC. At global level, these are specified by FSB, that is Financial Stability Board, in association with BCBS. What is BCBS? It is Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. The National Logistic Policy, sometimes seen in news, is associated with which ministry? So it is associated with Commerce and Industry Ministry. In simplest term, what is the meaning of this logistic? It means transportation. For example, transportation of goods from one place to another place. So National Logistic Policy is developed by the government, or to be specific, it is related to Commerce and Affairs Ministry. Now what is the objective of this policy? Objective is to improve the logistics sector in our country by reducing the logistic cost by less than 10% by 2022. As of now, this cost is 14%. What does that mean? It means, suppose right now, to transport goods from one place to another place, you have to spend approximately 14 paise out of every rupee. Now what is the objective of this policy? Objective is to reduce this cost to less than 10 paise per rupee. So how this will be done? By improving our infrastructure, by providing more facilities. This is how it will be done. Recently, it was in news because the first ever national conference on the states of National Conference of States on Logistics was organized, and this was chaired by Commerce Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal. Recently, this Commerce Ministry was also in news because of Prarambh initiative. So this was organized by Commerce Ministry to commemorate the 5 years of Startup India scheme. And during this event, a Startup India seed fund of 1000 crores was announced. Apart from that, recently, Startup Advisory Council was in news. This council give advice to the government in the matters related to startup, and this council is headed by Commerce Minister. Present Commerce Minister is Mr. Piyush Goyal. Which company has signed a pact with Airport Authority of India to manage 3 airports, including that in Thiruvananthapuram? So this company is Adani Group. Chairperson of Adani Group is Gautam Adani. So which are these 3 airports? These are airports of Jaipur, Guwahati and Thiruvananthapuram. This one is in Kerala, this one is in Assam, and Jaipur is in Rajasthan. Recently, Jaipur was in news because RBI decided to set up its automated banknote processing center in Jaipur. Recently, Thiruvananthapuram was in news as India's youngest mayor is Arya Rajendran, and C is the mayor of this Thiruvananthapuram Corporation. Next question is, which famous commercial passenger train has been renamed as Netaji Express? So, Howrah Kalka Mail has been renamed as Netaji Express. This has been done in the respect of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Please note that his birth anniversary is on 23rd of January and this will be celebrated as Prakram Divas or Bravery Day. And this time we are going to celebrate his 125th birth anniversary. Therefore, it is very, very important from exam perspective. Now, one homework question for you. In which year Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose formed Forward Bloc? You have to specify the year. Next question is, Indian military team is going to get the training of S-400 air missile defense system in which country? So this country is Russia. So Indian military experts are going to attend the training to operate the S-400 air defense system. Please note that we are going to purchase these air defense system from Russia. Recently, Turkey also purchased them from Russia, and because of this, USA imposed sanctions on Turkey. And these sanctions were imposed as per CAATSA. CAATSA is Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. So this is the act of USA to impose sanctions on the adversaries or enemies of USA. Recently, USA was also in news because of two major developments. One was Paris Climate Deal. So the new president of USA took oath. New president is Joe Biden, and he now reaffirmed the commitment of USA towards Paris Climate Deal. Previously, Donald Trump decided to exit from this deal. Second important development was Keystone Pipeline. So recently, new president of USA, Joe Biden, signed an executive order to halt this Keystone Pipeline project. This pipeline project connects Canada and USA. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. First is JSW Sports. So recently JSW Sports signed Rishabh Pant, cricketer Rishabh Pant, to promote its products. Next is Radio Hills Yangistan Ka Dil. So this is the first ever online youth radio station of Himachal Pradesh. Next is Global Risk Report 2021. So this has been released by World Economic Forum and this is the 16th edition. Next is Mata Prasad. So the former governor of Arunachal Pradesh. So the former governor of Arunachal Pradesh, Mata Prasad, passed away recently. That's why he was in news. Next is Mukhyamantri Bagayat Vikas Mission. So recently Gujarat government announced this mission, and this has been announced for the development of horticulture sector in the state of Gujarat. Next is power subsidy to the farmers through DBT. First thing first, what is DBT? It is direct benefit transfer. So Madhya Pradesh became the first state in our country to transfer the power subsidy to farmers through DBT. Next is Vaccine Maitri initiative. So under this initiative, India is supplying vaccines to our neighboring countries, and this is an example of soft diplomacy. Recently, India sent 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to Nepal and 2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to Bangladesh. Next is Risa. So Risa is a hand-woven cloth and it is related to the indigenous tribal communities of Tripura. Recently it was in news because the Chief Minister of Tripura promoted this. Next is world's first quantum computing applications lab to support the national mission of a country. So recently MEITY, that is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, decided to collaborate with Amazon Web Service for world's first quantum computing applications lab. Recently, this term quantum computing was also in use as DRDO established quantum communications between two of its labs. DRDO is Defense Research and Development Organization. Next is Mr. Sanjeev Kumar. So Mr. Kumar has been appointed as the new CMD of Telecommunications Consultants India Limited. Next is Siddharth Mohanty. So Mr. Mohanty has been appointed as the new MD of LIC, that is Life Insurance Corporation. Next is InstaFX. So this FX stands for Forex. Forex means foreign exchange. So this is a new service started by ICICI Bank. It has launched a new mobile application InstaFX. Now with the help of this application, customers of any bank can get ICICI Bank Forex card. So even if you are not the customer of ICICI Bank, you can get this Forex card using this InstaFX application. Last one is related to India and Singapore. So recently India and Singapore decided to sign an agreement for submarine rescue support. That means if either of these countries need any support to rescue submarine, they are going to support each other. So these were the most important news events. Now test. So first question is, who is the first women fighter pilot of India at the Republic Day parade? Second question is, Desert Night 21 is a military exercise between India and which country? Third question is, which institution released India Innovation Index? Fourth question is, the birth anniversary of which freedom fighter will be celebrated as Prakram Divas? Fifth question is, MEITY, that is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has asked which company to withdraw its privacy policy? Sixth question is, GABA is a place in which country? Seventh question is, what is the name of veteran oncologist and chairperson of Adyar Cancer Institute who passed away recently? Eighth question is, who is the chairperson of Startup Advisory Council which was constituted recently? And ninth question is, dragon fruit, which was in news recently, is a native species of which region? And in that specific region, it is called as Pitaya. Recently, Gujarat government decided to rename it. So the question is, it is the native species of which region? So that was all for the day. Thank you.